The fundamentals of Bitcoin. So the big saying is buy low, sell high in life. Yet very few do this. Very, very few. Why is that? Why do we all know what to do in theory or intellectually, but emotionally, the EQ cannot do it? What's going on, guys? Brandon here. If you stay to the end of this video, you're going to see with Bitcoin why it's so undervalued right now and why it is, behooves you to accrue some and stack Bitcoin. And as Satoshi Nakamoto once quipped, you might want to get some. It just might catch on, right? It ends. I'm paraphrasing, but it's something that we have to take seriously because it's the new global monetary standard, in my opinion. So you might want to grab a little bit, get off zero, because if it does catch on, and we go, as many people just recently, Michael Saylor, Adam Back, Jesse Myers, articles of how Bitcoin gets to 100 trillion, 200 trillion in market cap and beyond. Greg Foss, many people have outlined this over time. And I want to show you really quickly, actually, I'm going to pull up the calculator and show you really quickly. We are at $400-500 billion in market cap, right? So as you see here, we're about 400 or 500 million or a billion in market cap. To get to a 200 trillion market cap, like many are expecting and many think are going to happen or take place, that is 400x from here. 400x. So you are not late to the party. In fact, you are beyond early. So a conservative estimate is 400x from here. And again, we're not going to get into all the network effects and why that is and the semantics of that. We've done that in many other videos. And quite frankly, we will do that in others as well. So the big reason, though, is we want to see where the fundamentals are, but where are the searches at? Where are things going and what have they been doing, right? We can see these huge spikes over the last number of years. Actually, let's widen this time horizon a little bit and see, so the past 5 years. And we can see where it's basically a low right now. A volatility and greed index, you can look up that. That's another thing you can do. And you can see all through 2020, end of 2020, up into 2021, just really just went through the roof. And then you have this period now where it's basically been flat, if not bottoming, really likening it to the 2018-2019 bear market. And again, we're in a bear market as well with Bitcoin, and it's probably starting to come out of that again. So we want to buy things when they're downtrodden, when they're beaten up, when no one's searching it, when no one cares about it. That's when we want to buy. So I always say price is the least interesting aspect about Bitcoin. However, at the end of the day, I still have to talk about price once in a while because it is important for adoption. The price going up, number go up technology is probably one of the most important things in Bitcoin because it is going to draw the most people in, right? People operate off of greed and fear. And the fear side is the being underbanked, being frozen out of your accounts, being censored, all these bad things that governments are doing because they think the rights come from them. And people let that happen. But at the end of the day, rights come from God or someone above, a higher being. Government is there to just work off the consent of the people and uphold the rights as outlined in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. Money, likewise, is a value that humans create in the private markets. It's goods and services being created, and that's where money comes from. It's not from government. So we have these two things, this war on words, this war on language, being completely diverted and then upside down from what life really is at the end of the day. Life is about what you and I want to do without hurting other people, and that's it. And government's there to facilitate and kind of police over that a little bit, secure borders, have a military if need be, and make sure commerce is good, uphold the rule of law. That's all they're supposed to do, with some nuance in there, but that's really all they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to be administering entitlements, money, administering the welfares of the world and all these insane bridges to nowhere projects, omnibus bills, and being the source of money. People now are, like John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And we have people just arbitrarily now voting for their well-being. Voting because that person is going to give them a wealth and give them a living. That's not how life works. You have to go do something. And in a Bitcoin world where Bitcoin is running towards you and not away from you, prices aren't running away from you, but prices are running towards you and your cost of living, that's a beautiful world. Because the McDonald's worker who saves more than they earn, saves more Bitcoin than they spend each month, and they can save more and more of that Bitcoin. Well, in 10 years, if you're saving 1 Bitcoin a year, but the doctor who is spending out their tits and is only saving 0.1 Bitcoin a year, well, in 10 years, 20 years, the McDonald's worker is going to be massively wealthy compared to the doctor who's going to be comparatively poor in Bitcoin. That's the world we're entering. True equal playing field. Doesn't matter where you are, just matters the value you're providing to society and how you're allocating capital. Truly, a true playing field, a true level playing field. However, at the same time, again, the doctor's making more money, mind you, remember, the doctor's making more money, so it's not that he's not providing value to the society or she, they are. They're making more, but they're also spending more. If you're in this fiat mentality of YOLO, high time preference, you're only gonna live once, I'm gonna spend all my currency, it's going to be gone. And the person that's prudent and saving over time is going to create a dynasty. So we want to be cognizant of that. That's the mindset turn we have to have with Bitcoin. And again, we want to buy low and sell high. I don't talk about price too much on here, but we have to sometimes because it's a great adopter. It's a great form of adoption. And we can see right now, if you want to get on Bitcoin, it's probably a great time. All the fundamentals are telling us the 200-day moving average, all these things is below the 200-day moving average. The fundamentals have never been stronger though. The searches are down. So all those things tell us that people forgot about it. They're not talking about it that much. And the fundamentals though on Lightning, the Lightning Network and the nodes, the miners, the hash rate, never been higher. Never been higher. Hash rate right here, estimated 312. It was like 370 the other day. And it's been at 250, 270 for months and months and months. We got into the 300s, breaking all-time highs. We have, like I said, Lightning, the Lightning node right down here, total capacity 5,300 Bitcoin. And that was at 4,500 just probably 6 months ago. Just continually building on layer 2. So these metrics could not be stronger. They could not be better. So why is the average person still wondering what to do? Why is the average person still not understanding that this is the opportunity of a lifetime? Well, again, like I said, at the end of the day, it comes back to being told your whole life, living in an inflationary monetary system created by the Federal Reserve and all the bankers' men, and thinking that rights come from government. That's why people don't stand up to the government anymore. That's why I'm sitting here like, oh, when are people going to get up and revolt? Well, they're not going to. Because they think that government creates all the rights, and what the government says goes. That's what people like in Bitcoin. Well, government will crack down on it. It's like you are the government, as Jeff Booth says. You are the government. If you were saying that you aren't going to invest in Bitcoin, a life-changing, human-changing asset, because you think the government, who you apparently have a say in because you have a vote, you're saying that they're not going to let it happen. Okay, well you're just admitting defeat. You are admitting that you aren't a warrior, you aren't a freedom seeker, and you don't care. And you're just going to let the government do whatever they want. Newsflash, rights come from above, and they're upheld by the government. They're upheld by governments and work at the consent of the people. That is it. And money also, likewise, is created by people in the private sector. Creating value, goods and services, that's how money's created. Value is created that way, not through the governments. Government printing currency and typing up currency is not value, wealth creation. That is theft. That is counterfeiting. That is stealing money, printing off the printing press, or typing in a computer, and then taking a fraction, stealing a fraction of every single person's dollars in existence, their time and energy, that's all it is. They're stealing your time and energy, all the work you put away, blood, sweat, and tears, away from your family members, away from friends, away from projects, passions, hobbies, all of that taken, stolen from you, so that way some goon can fly to some other country having a proxy war and then go spend your time and energy somewhere else for something that you didn't vote for. That's not the world that I live in. That is not the world I live in, and nor will it be the world I ever live in. So I would ask that you please do the research to please join in on the freedom cultural revolution that's going on, the peaceful protest, the voting with your money, voting with your feet and saying, I'm out. I'm not in this grift and graft. I'm not in this theater. I'm not in this theft that's taking place with inflation, with counterfeiting currency into thin air through governments. Government doesn't provide money. Government is there to facilitate, make sure things are okay, upholding rule of law. That is it. People provide money and create value. And that is it. That is it. So we must have that as a frame of reference. Otherwise, we're not going to understand what is going on, and we're not going to have freedom. We're not going to have prosperity. The wealth gap is going to continue growing. We're going to have more unrest. And as we can see here, the bond market's starting to blow up again because we keep screwing with the money, the currency, and calling it money. And that's why we're so backwards. And that's why people are at each other's throats, the polarization, the division, the hate, because they don't understand what's wrong. They don't understand that the governments are the ones that have screwed at them out behind the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum, in the treasury, melting their coins down, clipping the coins, and they don't know why they have too much month at the end of their money, and why prices are running away from them, their cost of living is going down. So I appreciate your time and energy. It's the most important aspect we have. I implore you to share this, please, because the algorithm does not like truth. It does not like truth at all. And I really appreciate your time and energy because it's the most important asset we have. Time is Bitcoin, Bitcoin is time. This is not financial advice, it's freedom advice. I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. Please share this out. The community is the most important thing we need. Asking why, questioning everything with boldness. Bitcoin, gold, silver, food, energy, water, energy, firearms, security, ammo, and community. Sharing and spreading the community and growing with like-minded people so we can survive, not only survive, but thrive in what is coming. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.